California has a new modern home for NFL football, and it is this place, wondrous SoFi Stadium here in Inglewood. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers. About ready to get us started. And we are underway in Southern California. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Draymond Jones. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Over the middle, complete. It's Williams. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A big play that time on a catch and run.
I do think that sometimes on 3rd and long, many defenders just get caught watching the sticks instead of watching the ball. And the guy who's got it, because here, they just got the ball into the receiver's hands and told him to do it yourself, a little bit of a desperation play. And he was able to take the short throw and turn it into a big gain and a conversion on 3rd down. That's a big pickup.
Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now it's Herbert. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Had to get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Herbert. And this is caught by Williams. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So opening drive 3rd down, they complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Here's Herbert. And the screen unsuccessfully dropped it. These two teams getting a couple of late season tilts this year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in week 12. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Herbert now. Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Draymond Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 16. They run for the first time with Javonte Williams. He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They fake the handoff, now Lock. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. He's got a man, complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. For Drew Lock coming out of Missouri, the one thing that scouts they loved was his arm strength, and we see why there.
And we knew that this offense was going to try and put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. Big play for a touchdown on their very first possession.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Eckler. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. This defense for the Broncos, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. Here's Herbert. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And here's Rodgers on the return. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Blocking the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their 38. He'll hand this to Williams to start things out. Williams is going to have the 1st down and a little more. And finally brought down at the 43.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice gain.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Now Locke on the bootleg. This one swung out to Williams. Touchdown! Javonte Williams. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 14-0. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger drive about to get going. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
2nd and 2. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
On 2nd down, Eckler. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And Eckler will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack. Going to stop him short of the 1st down.
No gain on the play. fourth down.
On fourth down, Herbert. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on fourth down, this is a big call. So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
At the 32-yard line.
44 is the mic. 44 is the mic. Check, check. We got it. 44, Mike, 44. You can't block me. You can't block me. Switch.
Block off of play action. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Here's Locke. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. He tried to get away, but to no avail, and an absolute killer there. A 12-yard loss on 1st and goal. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Block now to throw. Right side, it's Hamler pulling it in. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Now Locke. And he checks this one down to Williams. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. The kick by McManus is good, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
The Charger drive about to get going. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I
try to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
On 2nd and goal, Locke. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. Cortland Sutton with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Broncos are able to widen their lead here in this first half. McManus's point after is good, and the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. That's out wide for Palmer. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The defense going to blanket the field. 6 now in the secondary here for 3rd and 15. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they've got just over 50 seconds to go till halftime, so they can try to put something together if they want. Escaping the pressure right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw it is Locke. That's going to be caught by Judy. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. And he will at least be able to fall on it himself, but it was 4th down, and the possession changes. Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
They'll fire one downfield for Fant, and that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A huge play there for Denver. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
First down, Broncos.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Block working out of the gun. Steps away to his left. And he's got his tight end Fant. Touchdown Broncos. Noah Fant, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. Extra point from McManus is good, and that will extend this big lead.
Chargers, nothing.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Back to throw here, Herbert. Throw left side is hauled in by Palmer. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. On is the Chargers punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 20.
And the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Push him back. Push him back.
Again, it's Williams. Williams is going to have the first down and a little more. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and all the way home for a Broncos score. The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category. That deserves a couple exclamation points.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates, they're looking at you. And let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to it. And that's not how football works. But he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. The Charger drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere. And the Broncos get there and take him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
3rd and long, it's Herbert. Wide open, it's Allen, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I wonder if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Once more, here's Eckler. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The coverage unit out there thinking pass on 3rd and 3. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
I do know that owners, when they watch their quarterbacks run with the football, they usually hold their breath because that's the franchise. But when you're getting that kind of a gain, hard to argue against calling it.
He's going to keep this again. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Herbert's throw there complete to Allen. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Herbert operating from the red zone. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that's going to make it fourth down. Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chargers are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 20.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we can probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Now on second and 16, Locke. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
The Broncos on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be third and forever. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be fourth down. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on first and 10. They'll start by running the option to the right. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Now it's Herbert. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really...
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Broncos 45, Chargers 7.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
It's Eckler again. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll go option to the short side. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. It's picked up by the Broncos. Does the big boy have the juice? So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Williams will try again. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another.